Okay. Well, we are excited to be here today with Warden Wanza Jackson Mitchell, who's been a longtime leader with the Department of Rehabilitation and Correction. And most recently, she has served at the Dayton Correctional Institution as warden for the past 4 years now. So, Warden, would you share a little bit about how it's been in working with the women incarcerated at Dayton?
Sure. First of all, when I went to Dayton, I thought, I'm a female, I got this. I've worked with men in prison before. I have a lot of experience in managing issues in prison, and this should be a piece of cake. And then I got there and I started looking around the room at the people who were there, and they were still talking as if the prison was full of men. And the issues they were talking about them from a perspective of if we were at WCI or if we were at Lebanon, what would work? And then I started making rounds in the prison, and I started talking to women, and the women would tell me everything. And I thought, well, that's different, because normally the men don't do a lot of talking, but the women would tell me everything. And then I started looking around and looking at who were the women, what backgrounds, where did they come from, their security levels and all of that. How did they get to this place and how did they get to that place? And I started recognizing the numbers of women on the mental health caseload, and I thought, wow, we have 50% of the population on the mental health caseload. That's a lot. And then I started looking and listening to the stories as to how they ended up coming to prison. And I started thinking, wow, these women have made mistakes based on either relationships, some type of trauma. Some of them had very little support systems. Many of them were addicted to drugs. And a lot of them were very, very young when they were incarcerated. And now they have been incarcerated for many, many years, and they're lifers. So I thought to myself, this will be a challenge. This will be a challenge, because in order to be effective in managing women, we have to own the issues of women. We have to own the issues, and we have to build around those issues. Special services, mental health, medical, recovery services are key. Programs, activities for women, community service projects that are focused on things that women love to do, empower them.
I say one of our biggest success that we've had is we built a program with a community partner called Chopping for Change. And that program, when it initially started, it was innovative, it was completely different, but we sent the women out each day, and they were supervised by the community for a couple hours each day. And towards the end, they have a graduation period where they're graded multiple weeks on different foods that they have to cook. And what happens is, long story short, is on Fridays, on these particular Fridays, they would cook meals, and then their families were invited in to be a part of their grading session. And a lot of the women have actually never cooked for their own children. So it was a huge accomplishment. It's been huge for the staff, because we got to see the entire transformation, and to see them go through the program, do very well at the program, and then for them to share that moment with their children is very rewarding, because you see them build the confidence, and that's special, you know. So they have been broken. You get to see it. You get to see them get the confidence to be in control of their lives again, and that's so important. So.
The first thing I would say is thank you. Just because, here's what I tell people. I have a little bit over 500 staff, and we have, at this moment, a little bit over 2,500 women. we couldn't do the things we do without our community partners, without our volunteers and folks who are willing to give of their time to come into our facility and help us. So thank you is the first thing I could ever say to anyone. And then I think that that's not enough. And I think it's important for them to know the impact and the print that they leave on our facility. They leave such a wonderful handprint on our facility, and that lasts such a long time. And so the fact that our community partners believe in our mission is first, you know, that they believe that they have a role in it. And that's so important. The second thing is that they believe in our philosophy of saving lives, that we have an obligation, that we all have been put here for a mission to do, and I believe that we've been put here for a mission to do service work, and this is service work. So that is just so exciting to me. And the fact that our community partners are willing to come in and to leave the judgment at the door and to be excited about the opportunities and see each of our young ladies as an opportunity to change and impact her life, that's just amazing. And so I would just tell our community partners thank you, and I invite them to invite other partners too. Here's what I think is important. I think because we're a correctional system, traditionally our doors are closed to people. Traditionally, we are not allowing people to come in and experience us. And because we have said we're going to be transparent, you know, we're going to allow people to come into our system, to come into our buildings, to come into our compounds, and to not only experience us, experience our women, our men, and to be able to give back, I think is amazing. And then we have to live up to that. We have to make things easy for them to get in. Not to the point where we're compromising security, but just easy. You know, when people are coming in, we have to make sure that they get to where they need to be on time, and that we're providing them with the support and the resources that they need. And then that we're ensuring that we express our gratitude. And our women usually are really good about that because they love expressing gratitude. So our community partners make the difference. We could not do the work without them. We could do some of it, but we couldn't do the things that we do. And so we have to recognize and give kudos to our community partners.